Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kaladesh Remastered draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I want to introduce the very special guest for this episode, Alex Nikolic, also known as Calls Online. He is a writer for Channel Fireball. He is the podcast host of the Limited Level Ups podcast. You can read his articles and watch his Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Calls, and also check him out on Twitter at that same tag. Welcome to the channel again, Alex. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back as always, Nikolai. I feel like I'm a recurring character at this point on the old YouTube channel here.
Exactly. Alex is our most frequent guest. He's been here for pretty much every single format, which is awesome. And so we're going to get his takes on Kaladesh Remastered, into his drafting style a little bit, trying to follow how he approaches Limited so we can get a new perspective here and improve ourselves. So when you open up the pack, what immediately do you do? Do you look at the rare? Do you look for commons? Especially in paper when you just have to open the packs yourself. What do you like to do first?
Oh, well, you got to go to the rare, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, you can't can't resist the temptation. Just look at your sweet card, and certainly in this pack, I'd be excited about my rare. Ovia's pretty good. She's not like bomb level, but she's like encroaching on pretty darn good. So I'm pretty happy to start with her. Otherwise, I'm definitely looking at the uncommons. I like Will Smith Renegade a lot. I like Red White. Big surprise.
Yeah.
People, I love Red White aggro in general, and in this format, I think it's pretty good. Vehicles is one of my favorite decks.
Yeah.
Welding Sparks is a great common. So is Sweatworks Brawler, but I think we're definitely just gonna start with the rare here. It's in the best color, or what I think is the best color in the set, green. And so I'm really happy to start with her.
If we weren't starting with Ovia, would you be on Renegade or Welding Sparks, do you think?
I think Welding Sparks, it's just it's good enough, and it hits so many things that I just want to take the efficient removal spell over the gold card.
Now this is an interesting pack because we have a very powerful uncommon with the artifact creatures that Ovia makes. We also have a great green common that also synergizes with Ovia if we fabricate, and then Unlicensed Disintegration is a very rawly powerful card that can be a removal spell. What do you like here?
Yeah, this is an interesting pick. So I mean, the actual best card in the pack is Unlicensed Disintegration. That card is pretty nuts. Like, if you ever go, 2-drop, 3-drop, maybe one of them is a Fabricate creature or an Ether Chaser to make a servo, and then kill their blocker, get in for a whole bunch of damage. Like, it's a very, very good removal spell. I'm not really looking at it, though, here. I think it's between, like you said, Chief of the Foundry or Pima Outrider. I think I would err towards Chief of the Foundry, just considering it's colorless, and it still synergizes with Arovia, and it's like, on power level with the Pima Outrider, while still leaving us open to being, any color.
Yeah, and when you see a card like Chief of the Foundry, does it make you adapt your picks in the future to prioritize artifact creatures, or is it just a card that you'll take incidental synergy but not really adjust your pick order?
Yeah, it kind of depends what comes to me. I mean, it certainly, if there's a close pick between an artifact creature, let's say the Sky Skiff, right, and something else, I'll be like, all right, let's take the artifact creature. But I'm not going to be like, okay, got this chief, got to build around it, got to go all in. Sometimes you'll just get incidental value out of a few Fabricate creatures, and that's fine. Especially in green. Green doesn't care about artifacts all that much, so, we'll just see how it comes, basically.
So yeah,
and in this pack,
we've got Wildest Dreams, we've got Nature's Way as a Rabid Bite variant, Pima Outrider again, Prophetic Prism, and Sky Skiff as the cards that come to my mind. And then there's also Gear Seeker Serpent if we wanted to go into blue. Pretty crazy pack.
Yeah, this is real nice. I think I'm just gonna be taking the Nature's Way myself. I think just a really, really efficient removal spell. Wildest Dreams is great too. And especially because this is best of 3. Lucky us. That card gets a little bit better because the games go, ever so slightly longer. But I think I'm gonna go with the efficient removal spell here. Be sad to pass the sweet card, but
yeah, there's a lot of good green cards in that pack too. It's funny because Nature's Way, I remember when Kaladesh was originally out, I was like, wow, this card is completely insane. And then Rabid Bite came out, and I was like, oh, it's Rabid Bite. And so it got immediately Vigilance and Trample is nice, but once it gets compared to Rabid Bite, which we see in many sets these days, I was just like, oh, it's Rabid Bite.
Well, I remember this set for a lot of cards. I was like, Pima Outrider, 4-mana, 4/4 with upside. Like, what are they doing?
Let me introduce you to a little card called Fierce Witch Stalker in Throne of Eldraine.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so what do you like here? Filigree Familiar?
Let's take this Filigree Familiar. It really just keeps this monocolor. This is a nice little speed bump card, not like a premium card by any means, but a really nice card to keep us open, and it combos with the Chief, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I like the fact that since we have Chief and Filigree Familiar, those can kind of go into any color combo. So even if we got pushed off of green for some reason, we would have a nice little fallback plan here. And now Trophy Mage can get Filigree Familiar, which is definitely relevant. There's also Ether Chaser, which I love. Dawnfeather Eagle, which is excellent. Theorist has been pretty good, but there's a lot of good cards in this pack considering that it's pick 5.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm just taking Chaser here. Chaser is the best card in the pack. It's premium. Like, this is such a good 2-drop. Like, on its own, it's a great card. Attacks well, blocks well. If you can ever go Inventor's Goggles into this, like, it feels like you're cheating. Trophy Mage is great too. We do have 2 good targets, and I like both the white cards in this pack, Aviator, Mechanic, and Eagle. But I think just taking the best card in the pack here, right? This is one of the benefits of taking the 2 colorless cards. We get to take the best card in the pack, pick 5, and see where it takes us.
I forgot that Trophy Mage could get cheap at the Foundry.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's really sweet.
Yeah. Ooh, and now we see a Renegade Wheelsmith and a Revoke Privileges. Maybe some white signals opening up. We could go into transition period and go to red-white. Even though we have been seeing a lot of green, we see another Riparian Tiger here. When you see a pack like this, does it make you want to like hold the line or like speculate?
This kind of pack. So I think Riparian Tiger is a good card. I don't think it's like anything that pulls me in. This is the exact kind of pick where I want to speculate, right? I'm gonna take the Renegade Wheelsmith. Yeah, we've got a sweet, 2 sweet green cards, but we've also got just like Ether Chaser and the 2 colorless cards. There's Revoke Privileges in this pack, which I think maybe a lot of people might look like a fantastic removal spell. I think it's just fine, right? There's a lot of self bounce in this set. There's a lot of things to blink effects. Some sacrifice where you get punished with that card, a decent percentage of the time. So I'm not quite excited about it.
And now that it's an Aeronaut Admiral, could be pretty sweet if we go for some vehicle route. There's also Renegade Rallier if we want to go towards red, white, green, white, which isn't really a direction we're at. There's a Wild Wanderer. Honestly, the pack. I mean, I think Aeronaut Admiral is probably the best card in the pack.
I would so I mean if we're taking you know what, let's take the Aeronaut Admiral. I was gonna say if we're gonna take a white card anyway, we could take the Rallier, but we can now just move into red white potentially, especially if that Renegade Wheelsmith wheels from the first pack. Like that's part of the reason I want to take the Wheelsmith is because the Wheelsmith from the first pack has potential to wheel, right? That's really important when considering your future picks, remembering what was in when considering your current picks, remembering what was in your previous packs.
How do you do that in your mind? How do you like lock in which cards to remember? Because obviously you can't remember every single card that's in the pack. Like how do you select which cards to try and remember that are going to wheel?
Yeah, it's kind of just like, I like to point out the top 3 cards in each pack, basically, and then just, from there, we can talk about that in a second. I would slam Aviator Mechanic here. I think that card's quite good, solid 2-drop, and, picks up, value creatures and stuff. But as far as, so we didn't wheel the Renegade Wheelsmith, but we wheeled Brawler, which is quite good. And I'm happy to pick it up here, especially with the Ether Chaser. Getting that on turn 3 is nice. So just talk about the whole, like, how you remember. It really is hard. Once you start doing it, it kind of becomes second nature at some point, right? Like, you just start, make it become a habit, basically. Just be like, these are the top 3 cards in the pack, and then these are top 3 cards in this pack, and then it's harder at first, but it becomes easier as you go.
Is Iron Tread? So I agree with that as well. I think one of the keys is you start small with it and you build up. Like you're like, oh, there's a Renegade Wheelsmith in this pack, and so we'll just remember that card, or like the card that like you would have the cards you were choosing between. You remember the second card. Oftentimes a card that you think might wheel is another one to try and remember. Like, oh, if this black card wheels, maybe it'll work out. Because you don't want to pick, oh, this is the second best card in the pack, so it's clearly going to wheel. It's good to like pick a attainable goal on that to focus on.
Well, and it's also nice to know, like, note sometimes, like, if there's one black card in the pack and that card wheels, even if it's not a fantastic card, maybe it's a good card, like, I don't know, something, a medium black common. Well, it's like, well, nobody took that black card and it was the only black card in the pack, so that's something worth noting.
Yeah, just rounding out the first pack here, took a Built to Smash to go with like Iron Tread Crusher and things like that, because that's just a really brutal combo over like some random cards. But looks like Weldfast Monitor coming back. That's a good sign for us.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That was
one of the better cards in the pack.
Actually, some decent synergies here going with our Chief of the Foundry, like making this a 4/3 is no joke. And last pick, Ether Inspector. It's not a great card, but it is a card in our colors, which is good to see.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, that's a nice open too. So I mean, I just want to talk about, we're definitely gonna take the Heart of Kieran because it's a great artifact vehicle here. I just want to talk about those last few picks there because, we basically, I think those last few picks bode well for us because, they were kind of like medium cards in the vacuum, the Fireside Infiltrator, the Built to Smash, but they're like, kind of archetype payoff cards in a way. This set was from a time where decks weren't as streamlined focused as you'd see in like Zendikar or Ikoria, things you see these days. And it's like, yes, this Chilling Trap that goes exactly in this one deck, right? But there are still kind of like more narrow cards like Built to Smash, like Spireside Infiltrator that can be maximized on, for example, red white. And when you get those cards late, that's a great signal for you.
So in this pack, I think we're just going to slam dunk Heart of Kieran, just a very powerful vehicle. Also goes with our vehicle synergies. In this pack, what cards are you looking for that might wheel? Like which type of cards are coming into your mind?
I think Weldfast Monitor has a good chance to wheel, especially because it did in the first pack, and maybe like Outland Boar or something, one of the gold cards that one of the lesser common color combinations that people like to get into, which is red green, right?
Yeah, exactly. So now we have the option between something like Aspire of Industry for our mana, which is probably unlikely. There's also Siege Modification if we wanted to just go to town on like a Heart of Kieran and a Siege Modification. There used to be actually the 1 mana 7/11, which was a really funny combo with that.
Yes, Consulate Dreadnought, yeah.
Of course. I remember the artwork and the name and what it did, but I didn't remember its name. It was like Crew 7 or something. But in this pack, what do you like taking here?
Yeah, this pack's a little bit less exciting for me. I mean, Filigree Familiar, well, we were kind of happy about taking it earlier, and I think I still will take it here. We were happy about taking it earlier. I'm a little bit less happy in like our aggressive red-white vehicle deck that we're building towards. Now, that being said, it's still a fine card. It still is just a good value card in combos with the pump, the Chief of the Foundry.
Yeah.
But it's probably the card we're gonna take here. We might wheel Siege Modification. That's pretty likely, I think, and I'd be pretty happy to put that in my deck, or one of the other aggressive red cards.
Yeah, I was thinking we might wheel Built to Smash or Built to Last, one of the combat tricks. Those are the types of things that are kind of also a payoff for your aggressive decks, similar to like, oh, you get a late Spireside Infiltrator. A lot of white decks or red decks aren't interested in Built to Smash and Built to Last, and so you can get some good value from those. In this pack, there's great cards in our colors. Great white uncommon, pretty good red uncommon, I think, and then good vehicle. So good options here. What do you like taking?
Yeah, so Skywhaler Shot is just like premium. I think a lot of people, when they first saw this card, for Kaladesh Remastered, it kind of reminded them of the kind of, Smite the Monstrous style cards that we don't usually play, that we try into sideboard. But this is much different. 3 is much different than 4, and that hits so many more creatures, right? And it being 3 mana is great, scrying is great, just a premium card.
Yeah, I was tempted by the vehicle, but we already have 2 vehicles, which makes and we also have 2 vehicles that are high crew cost, so it's less likely that we're going to be able to crew up multiple vehicles, which does lower it a little bit in our estimation, in my pick order at least.
Okay. And you really want like 3 vehicles, 4 max. You don't want to overload on vehicles, even in your red-white vehicle deck.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't crew them all at once, and they oftentimes sit in play. Here there is Fire Puzzle or another Filigree Familiar. Both seem decent, but I'd probably lean towards the Familiar.
Yeah, I'm not really excited about anything here. I think, again, Familiar, I don't even know if we'll play it. Maybe if we pick up another, Chief of the Foundry, I'd be very excited to have, 3 artifact creatures here. But we'll just take the fine 3-drop. I'm a little bit worried about our curve at the moment because, we have a lot of 3s currently. I would really like some more 2-drops. We've only got 2, 3 if you got the Heart of Kieran. So I think 2-drop cards are going to be at a premium. That being said, I'm probably going to take... It's close, actually, between Skyskiff and Eagle, right? Because Eagle's really, really good 5-drop. And Skyskiff is not exactly the 2-drop we're looking for. We're really looking for like a creature, not just a vehicle. I think I'm going to go with the Eagle. I think I'm going to put trust in the fact that we're going to get some 2-drops later. Because our colors were open in pack 1, and not settle for like a medium 2-drop, basically. Okay, there we go. That's
here we get a pretty nice 2-drop. I've actually been pretty impressed with this. Not only is it unblockable by servos, which would be annoying, but it can crew our Crusher or Heart of Kieran, which is actually incredibly relevant. So I've actually, when I made my draft guide for this set, I made sure to mention the Infiltrator is better than it looks, because a lot of times 2 mana 3/1s are just kind of janky, but this one's actually a pretty good one in the set.
Yeah, you kind of alluded to this earlier too, when you were talking about like the crew costs and crew costs kind of being tricky. Like 3 power is important to these decks because the Crusher is one of the better common vehicles, and you really do want to make sure you have enough 3 power creatures to you don't want to be tapping 2 creatures to crew your vehicle. That's kind of the it's kind of awkward at that point.
So in this situation where we need 2-drops, would you like to like prioritize Countless Gears Renegade or Reckless Fireweaver over something like a Quicksmith Genius?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Quicksmith Genius is a fine card. It's okay. I'm really not excited to play it, but a 2-power 2-drop, it's not, you're not going to get the token off this thing very often, but when you do, it's great. And then again, like you just need 2-drops, even if they're not exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Okie doke. In this pack, pretty big miss, but we don't really need anything because it's pack 2, pick 8. Could just take a assistant or a cathartic reunion. I don't think we're.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said,
Really
I don't
matter.
think anything really matters here. You know, I think we look at this pack and red and white kind of has dried up, but that's to be expected, right? I think some people might be like, "Oh, red and white isn't open. Like we should, you guys are supposed to move out of it or something." But generally, when you see two colors open or one color open in pack 1, you should expect the opposite in pack 2, right? Because the flow of the draft switches, right? So if you start with a really strong red white start like we did, don't get scared off of it if in pack 2 it's kind of running dry. That should happen. That's if you just think about the flow of the draft, that's expected. And then in pack 3 it'll open back up again.
Yeah, and the Outland board that you mentioned did end up wheeling, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Built to Smash came back. Why would you say that the pack is supposed to reverse? Because maybe some people would think, oh, I took all of the red-white cards. In pack 2, I should be getting all the red-white cards from the people next to me.
Right. So I mean, there's still going to be some, if we're reading the signals that are getting passed to us, there's going to be some signals that snuck past us. There were still some red-white cards that snuck past us in pack 1.
Yeah.
So the person next to us and a few people then are still going to get, hints of that, right?
Yeah.
So unless the packs were perfect and we were able to take every good red and white card and then not pass any good red and white cards, then we can expect good stuff in pack 2 potentially. But that just, isn't the case in most drafts.
Yeah, it's also like the situation where like we took in our first pick Ovia Pashiri, but we passed like the Pima Outrider. And so like in this pack, we didn't really get any green cards because even though we took a couple of green cards early, like the Nature's Way, the Ovia, we still passed green cards as well. So it's like you need to make sure you know what the things you're sending down the line are and that you don't get too hooked. Okay, so now there's Scrap Trawler, Sweatworks Brawler, Fabrication Module is one of my favorites, but maybe not for this sort of deck.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit clunky for this sort of deck. I do like the card. I agree. It's a great tool. It's a great engine piece in the energy decks. So basically we're weighing 3 mana, 3/2 artifact creature that will sometimes get something back. Gets back our Heart of Kieran when it dies. That's kind of cool. Versus the improvised creature. If we had more of the ether chasers to ensure an artifact early, or even if we had like Inventor's Goggles, I think I'd take the Sweatworks Brawler here. But I think just taking the Scrap Trawler is pretty sweet. We don't have a lot of super cheap things right now to buy back with it, but our other things can die and get good stuff with it.
Does the fact that Sweatworks Brawler wheeled in pack 1 influence that decision?
Yes, for sure, right? I mean, the fact that we kind of have some knowledge of what the other people at the table are doing, that especially in pack 3 should influence your decisions.
Mm-hmm. In this pack, I see Glint Sleeve Artisan and Inventor's Goggles as the cards that jump out to me. I know that you're a little bit higher on Goggles than most. Why would you say that Goggles is like a good card in this format when it might look a bit junky?
Oh yeah, so I mean, it's you want cheap creatures. You want cheap artifacts for your improvised spells. Mind you, there's not a ton of improvised stuff in this set, but for the stuff for the improvised things that do exist, that matters. Like Sweatworks Brawler, that's the real combo, right? Making it a 4 or 5 menace on turn 3. But also just like it auto equips, so it really does affect combat in a meaningful way. So like the combination of affecting combat in a meaningful way, being cheap, helping improvise, like all those kind of things, just tied together into a nice little package.
Exactly. And now in this pack, there's another Eagle versus Sweatworks Brawler pick here. Eagles are good. We only have one so far. We already have one Sweatworks Brawler. We have a lot of 3-drops. Probably going to cut some of them.
I might consider taking the Inventor's Apprentice at this point. We were saying we need 2-drop, and this is kind of a pseudo 2-drop. It's going to be a 2/3 in our deck a lot of the time. Now we might wheel, which is the reason I would maybe want to take something else. But I think we want to lock this up here, basically. Like, we have enough high-ish end. I don't feel like I need to take another expensive card at this point, but we are pretty low on cheap cards, and I really want to lock that in right now.
Yeah, because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops right now, and this one can't even attack on its own.
Right.
So we really just want to make sure we get cheap things. The Apprentice is definitely the type of card that can thrive in sort of deck here. I'll just zoom in so people can see. There's a Thopter Arrest, which is just a good removal spell. So I think we lock that up here.
I think so too.
Over the Gremlins when we already have a million 3-drops. When it comes to like removal spells in aggressive decks, do you like prioritize them a little bit less, or do you prioritize them more because you need to get threats out of the way? Because I know there's like a tension there because you want creatures of pressure, but you also want stuff to do when you're like curving out. So how do you balance that? Like,
you want 4 or 5, I think max, maybe 6 to get key threats out of the way. What you don't want in your aggressive decks, and here's where it's really awkward, is you just don't want to have an opening hand with like 4 or 3 removal spells in it. I would actually take the Narnum Cobra.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was like,
yeah. I think you just want to make sure that you have your suite of good creatures on curve, a good curve of creatures, and removal spells to supplement that, right? That's the way to think about it.
Yeah.
The removal spells are to supplement getting in your creatures. They're not your whole game plan like they might be in a mid-range or control deck.
Yeah, that exact pick is like why I asked the question, is because a lot of the thought might be, oh, but revoke privileges is removal, so I have to take it. Whereas we already have a Sky Whaler shot, we already have a Thopter arrest, we already have like a couple of combat tricks, but we don't need infinite removal spells. We'd rather just prioritize a way to curve out. Here, I'd probably just take the charge and probably not play it.
Yep. Yeah, like especially in these aggressive decks. Ooh, this is interesting.
This is a close.
Okay, let's talk about this pick first before we get to that point. So there's Charger, which is our third vehicle. There's Goggles, which I'm not exactly too excited about in this deck. It's gonna be fine, but not great. How good is Eddie Trailhawk in our deck? Because again, it's
I think it's okay. We have
it's not great.
Decent evasion already with our vehicles having flying.
Yeah, let's take the I don't mind the vehicle pick there, but that's close. Wow, now this pick just has it all. We want everything.
We want everything in this pack. There's an Aeronauts. Aeronauts is just a great card on its own. Just swings the race. There's another great 2-drop that also crews all our vehicles. I'm tempted to take that. Just as an Audacious Infiltrator. What do you want to take?
Yeah, this is super close for me. I think I agree to just take the Infiltrator. But I'm taking the Infiltrator here because I didn't see any other 2-drops in the earlier packs. Like if we had potential to wheel 2-drops, I'd be like, just take the good 5-drop. But since there were no good 2-drops in the earlier packs, we have potential to wheel. We just gotta lock in more of them.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I like the fact that it crews all of our vehicles. All our vehicles are really high crew costs.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
And
now we just get some scraps in this pack, basically.
Some jank, yeah. Invigorated Rampage can be okay sometimes.
Yeah, it's good with the big vehicles.
Yeah.
It's good with the Filigree Familiars. We trade up and draw a card.
Yeah, I think Filigree Familiar might be getting the axe in our deck, but we'll have to see. Ooh, Narnum Cobra gets much better now that we also because of the Filigree Familiars and Chief of the Founders we have combined with Scrap Trawler.
Yeah. It's a 2-drop artifact creature.
Okay, so when it comes to deck building, do you generally just have your deck already built in your mind before you even get to this portion, or do you like have a lot of decisions usually in this stage?
Yeah, so I mean, generally when I'm drafting, I tend to build as I go, and I think that's a really important part of the draft. If you can, if it's a new set, it's a lot of cards. Maybe it's hard to take all the information and build at the same time. But your picks should be informed by what you already have and what you're imagining your end product is. Right? That's really important. So usually by this point, I have close to my 40. Maybe it's like 41 or 42 that I'm like I'm making 2 cuts here. But if I'm in this place where I've just taken a bunch of good cards, and I do have to like do a bit of building. What I like to do personally, I like to do the reductive method where I just take out some things. But what you can also do, what might help, is the additive method where you just put everything in the board and try to build from your pool. I think that's better. It's a better method if you aren't sure, like if in the draft you weren't building. But if you were building in the draft, it's probably just better to take some stuff out.
Okay, so in this pack, what do you want to cut? Maybe the Rampage. We have 4 cuts to make, or we could cut a land.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna want to cut some amount of 3-drops. I can see cutting, the Filigree Familiar for sure, one of them.
Maybe even 2.
Yeah, maybe even 2. It's just kind of like, it's a nice little value creature, but it's kind of just not what this deck wants as badly.
We'd rather have Weld Fast Monitor to beat down.
I would trade, all my Filigree Familiars for Weld Fast Monitors in this deck for sure, right?
Yeah, especially with the crew costs.
I think it's very easy to look at this and be like, well, why would you cut, Filigree Familiar for Narnum Cobra, right? Obviously, the curve, it's cheaper. You want the 2-drop, but also just like, the fact that we need 2-drops, that's the key to these aggressive decks, right? You can have as many 2-drops as you want, basically. There's no upper limit, right? Whereas like 3-drops really get clunky. I really want a 2-drop in my opening hand, even if it's a crappy one like Narnum Cobra.
So now we do have a pretty low curve, so we could consider cutting a land, especially because we don't have really good ways to spend extra lands. We could also just cut something like a Spireside Infiltrator, even though that card's really good with our vehicles. I'm tempted to just cut the 3rd Filigree Familiar, honestly, because it's a 3-drop that doesn't crew our vehicles, which is a major cost.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. I think that is
I'll
certainly.
just start pulling cards over that I'm considering at least, and then
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
see
I
any.
was gonna say there's a few. So like probably a second built to smash can be. So when I have, especially when I have cards like built to smash, there's a few ways that aggro decks operate, right? There's the kind of like there's the go wide aggro decks, which the inspire charge kind of things. There's the aggro decks that just say nope, you can't block, my creatures are just much bigger than you. And then there's some aggro decks like kind of this one where we're kind of presenting some large threats and some creatures with maybe good attack triggers like the Wheelsmith or the Infiltrator, and your opponents are going to be very incentivized to block, right? So that then makes me want to keep the two built smashes basically, because they can really punish the blocks. And at least one of them, right? We don't want at least one. I think if we're going to cut a combat trick, it's probably going to be Invigorated Rampage.
Yeah, it's like they fill a similar role because this is also terrible on defense. And now that we've cut the Filigree Familiars, we don't really need to buff up like
Exactly,
a small creature. So yeah, we just want our Iron Tread Crusher to blow them out. I don't mind cutting the last Filigree Familiar. Sweatworks Brawler is not the best, but it also does crew our vehicles and menace on its own, which is pretty nice. And we can make it cheaper sometimes, like with a Narnam Cobra or with a random servo from Ether Chaser. So I think it's still worth keeping that in.
I think I would just cut a land here. I
land?
think like we have 2 4s and 2 5s. Like if we don't hit, like we want to hit 3 mana or 4 mana sometimes, but like if we don't hit our 4th land drop on time, not the end of the world, right? I think, and no ways to filter in this deck. I think 16 lands are perfectly fine here.
Okay, and then are there any cards in the sideboard that you want to add back in?
Don't think so. Yeah, looks like no. There's nothing. I don't know. Anything you see?
Yeah, no, nothing really. It all looks pretty.
Yeah.
I think we've got our best cards in front of us, and yeah, looks like a fun deck, and we'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special thanks to those who support me at the credits level. It is thanks to Patreon support that I'm able to upgrade my equipment with the new webcam that I recently got, and things of that nature, so I really do appreciate that. And you do get a couple of perks like being put in the credits as my way of saying thank you. If you would like more information, you can find that at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Thanks again to all of my patrons, and without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1, everybody. We've got our opening hand here. We're playing against Mobius, who's also a streamer, or maybe it's someone who just calls themselves Mobius, so we're not sure. Could be someone else, but this hand's interesting. It doesn't have a white source, which is a big downside, but we have a 1-drop, a combat trick, and a 3-drop. What do you like? Do you think we keep this or mull?
I think with we're on the draw, so that's means we have more chances to get a white source. But even if we get our white source, it's not the most fantastic hand in the world. Having the 1-drop makes me less excited about having a 1-drop because we're on the draw. I think I'm gonna mull this one because even if we hit our land, it's not the best hand in the world.
Okey-doke, and this one is clearly much better. We just get rid of a mountain.
This is a decent hand for sure. The Narnam Cobra here, just hanging out, doing not much, but it's gonna do its job.
It's better than not having a 2-drop.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
right.
Beautiful Seed Sculptor. Ooh.
Yeah, green red, that's gonna be tough. Okay, that's a good one.
So do you like leading with that, or just like probably just get it out?
I think so. It's gonna be tough here to probably get this in on turn 3 versus our green-red opponent. I think we're gonna have probably a bit of trouble in this matchup in general, to be honest, because green-red is like slightly bigger than us, basically, which is just tough.
Ooh, that's a good draw.
That's a great draw.
So now we attack in, and then we can play our Narnam Cobra post-combat?
Yeah, let's do it.
And we're going to make a servo, because that's the only way we have of spending energy. And we do have some synergies with that. I wonder if they'll block. If they don't block, we just get to play our Renegade Wheelsmith.
And that's also great, right? I was talking about before when we were building the deck about cards that incentivize blocking. Well, Renegade Wheelsmith is definitely one of them, right? Your opponent can't have that running wild for a bunch of turns in a row. Yeah,
it's like the OG Territorial Hammer Skull.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just 3-drop into white that makes it so opponent creatures cannot block, which is just pretty good. Oh, and now I achieve with the Foundry.
All right, that's actually fine.
Any consideration of blocking?
Don't think so.
I agree.
I think we're just supposed to race here, and they're being quite aggressive here, which I mean, good. Like I think they should be. Ooh, wow. So let's think about this. What line do you like? What shouts out to you here?
My initial thought was we can attack them for 6, but they're not going to block, and then they hit us back for like 8. So I think we might have to be more defensive, or at the very least attack with less than we would like. Or we could just play Heart of Kieran and we then like attack with the servo or something and use our build to smash. It's a tricky spot.
Yeah, it's a really tricky spot. So I think the line I like best is attack with Wheelsmith, play Heart of Kieran most likely, right? Because like we're getting it for 6 here, which is not fantastic. I think we're just gonna probably hope to just trade off the Heart of Kieran.
Yeah.
Or hopefully brick their attacks, but
yeah.
I'm assuming they'll be able to. If they play an artifact creature, it's kind of an interesting question of do we block the Salivating Gremlins? I think probably, just because we have to, but.
Yeah, the fact that all their creatures are 2/3s does not line up well for our Ether Chaser.
Yes.
Very also, annoying here. Being on the draw makes this much different, because if we were on the play, we would have been attacking them a little bit more aggressively. Okay, there's a Rhino.
Okay, that's good. That means they're not attacking here.
Yeah, that's actually really good for us, because then we can start getting in with our Heart of Kieran.
And they also missed a land drop here, so.
Okay. Vehicle crewed. Mission accomplished. Ooh, 1 mana 2/3 could be good.
Too, yeah. So I think we've got pretty decent a pretty decent board position now, actually, because we like this Heart of Kieran is vigilant. So we can kind of just develop our board while getting in here. Like, opponent being stuck on mana means that they're gonna still have to be developing their board here, and we can just brick this Rhino as long as they don't have another combat trick. Now they might have a combat trick, but that's fine, right? Then that means we can start racing them back. So I think my line would just be through the heart and then play our creatures out here.
Which creatures do you want to play? Do you want to play Inventor's Apprentice and Narnum Cobra, or?
Yeah, I think probably
Inventor's Crew with Wheelsmith.
Yeah, I think so. Alternatively, we could attack with the Chaser too, just to sneak in a bit more damage, and then if they block, we build a smash. But I don't like that as much.
Yeah, we could attack with our servo as well.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. I think, because if they block, we built a smash, and then we can play our creatures. And if not, whatever, we still play our creatures, right?
Yeah.
Sneaking those points.
We've made this so this guy can't block. And trading this, yeah, and now we get that damage in, which is great because we now have them on a 3-turn clock if they are defensive, or just a 2-turn clock from this, and then another attack from that plus build to smash.
Yeah, the build to smash is going to be really key here, right? That's just 3 damage out of nowhere that they most likely do not see coming.
Do you want to play the Cobra here? Because Gears Renegade could make us a 1/1 in the future.
I think let's just play the Cobra.
The difference between a 1/1 and a 2, 2/1 and a 2/2 isn't big here.
Yeah. Okay, there is their 4th land draw. So let's see what they do.
Inventor's Apprentice being a 2/3 is really relevant here.
It's actually quite good.
It's like better than most of our 2-drops. Ooh, that's an ouch. So I think we crew our Heart of Kieran now in response.
Yep, we crew now, and this is actually fine for us because they still can't really attack. Like, this is a little bit annoying for sure, but by no means the end of the world for us.
And we've certainly got them in a rough spot when it comes to 2-turn clock in the air. Red-green doesn't really have flyers, and this is going to gain trample for the last points of damage, so not worried here. Ooh, Weldfast Monitor.
Pretty nice, pretty nice.
We can just play that. Immediately crew.
Yep. And unless they have an answer to this Heart of Kieran, they're just dead next
Do we want to crew with the Ether Chaser and the 1/1 because these two can block?
Yes, I believe. Well, it's an interesting question because then there might be some situation where we want to attack with the Weldfest Monitor and menace it next turn. I think you're right though. I think maybe crewing the 1 creature, right? If say they have like some combination of cheap removal spell into a cheap removal spell, I think we want to maybe chump at some point with 2 creatures.
Yeah. We are in okay shape right now, though they still can't attack into the Heart of Kieran. Vigilance is really good.
Yeah, the Vigilance has just been key on this card, right? Like, it's just been what's kept us alive here, basically.
Excellent mythic rare for us to open. All skill. Yes.
We didn't open a Planeswalker to go with it, though, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, exactly. People are always saying that I get very lucky with my pack openings. But it's just normal for me, so this is just a day in the life.
Yeah, you just expect it.
Okay.
Oh, this is... Okay, so they have to have some action here. So this is pretty interesting because we don't really want to lose our heart. That's pretty important.
My initial thought is to just like single block Chief of the Foundry and then double block the Gremlins or something.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of ways that we can lose here in red green at 12 life. There's like the +4 and trample is a card to think about.
Yeah.
So I think let's go token on Rhino, and yeah, I like the blocks you
Like these are my initial thoughts. We could also just chump the Rhino, since we're planning on killing them next turn.
Yeah, I think that's probably a little bit better.
And then not jump with our Ether Chaser.
Yep, especially because then we can crew even if one of our creatures dies, like our well-fast monitor dies post-combat.
Smart.
Or something. Okay.
It's probably because they just know that they're dead to this in a couple turns, so they know they have to start attacking. Red-green feels like a good, it could be a good matchup. Fearix Reprisal is definitely good against us. What do you think of this card in general?
I think it's fine. I think it's worse than Chandra's Revolution, like the common 4-mana removal spell. I think there's sometimes where this card, gets two really great things, and then sometimes it's just like, okay, well, it did it killed a 2-drop and did 2 to the face or whatever.
Yeah. Crewing on deep, being unable to be killed by sorcerer speed removal is a big point in the favor of Heart of Kirin as well.
Yeah, that's great. Looks like they might be hunting the weak here, potentially.
They're on the prowl.
Yeah. Ooh, second Furious Surprise.
Ouch.
Okay. So this is exactly what we played into something like this, or played around something like this, where we didn't make a trade, because now we can go, we now still crew with our 2-drop here and then still kill them with the Built Smash. So
yeah, exactly.
got rewarded for our plays.
Get rewarded for listening to Alex and his plays that he recommends. And they probably thought they might have had us.
Boom, baby.
They probably thought they had us. Okie doke. So now moving on to sideboarding. I don't know if we have any cards that immediately come out as potentially good. We have...
Yeah.
So what comes to my mind is they have a bunch of 2/3s. Like they have a couple of these. So 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3 essentially. So
2/3 army over here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So expensive cards with 2 toughness get a little bit worse against them.
So in a tight combat matchup, I'm more likely to bring in a cheap combat trick to like Precision Strike to when we're a little bit short on mana, especially when they're playing bigger things than us, earlier than us. This is a nice way to get some tempo back and kill a bigger creature. Basically, make one of our creatures fight above their weight class.
Yeah, exactly. It's also really good with the big vehicles if they have to go for a double block or something.
Yep. So I think, especially on the draw, one of the Built to Smash is out in for that combat trick.
Yeah, especially because they know we have Built to Smash. Because that could make it a little bit weaker if they know we have it.
And also on the draw, what do you think about Impeccable Timing potentially?
Impeccable Timing could be good, especially because we saw that they have a lot of 3 toughness things. They have like Chief of the Foundry, Gremlins, Skujar. Seems like it could be a pretty good addition. Maybe over an expensive creature that dies to the 4 damage, like an Aeronaut Admiral or something.
Yeah, and in these aggressive, this is still a pretty aggressive mirror match, right? If you're on the draw, generally you should have a game plan going into every game, right? In game 1, in our game plan is certainly be aggressive. But in an aggressive mirror match, when you're on the draw, you should expect to be reacting more than being proactive, right? You're going to have draws where your opponent stumbles and you can still run over them. But I think planning to be a bit more reactive in these matchups is something I like to do.
Is adding another Filigree Familiar something we'd want to do over something like... I guess we wouldn't want to cut a 3/2 for it, so maybe that's...
Yeah, I think the stats line up a little bit too poorly for that,
Yeah.
so I think this configuration is what I'd go with.
It was worth considering, at least.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Those are just the type of thing to think about, like, oh, it's like a roadblock, lifelink, but the only problem is, like, if they had a bunch of 3/2s, then it would be something that I would consider a lot more, but they all have a bunch of 2/3s, so... Yeah, pretty easy mulligan, I'd say, here.
Yeah, I mean, if this Dawn Feather was like a 3-drop, potentially, but we can just do better.
Yeah.
And this is better.
Yeah, this hand is much better.
There you go.
I think we get rid of the Infiltrator.
I believe so. This hand is actually quite good, right? Because we go 1-drop, 2-drop, and then if we draw 3rd land, we can play Brawler.
And then we have
That's really nice.
Yeah, then we have Precise Strike to go with the Brawler if they go for a double block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of mulligans as well.
Yeah.
Good news.
I think the new mulligan rule is much better for limited, because it lets you use your like game knowledge of planning out a game plan with like your mulligan decision. So instead of like just losing one of those cards at random, we get to be like, oh, well, we are curving out with our red card, so we don't need the white card.
Oh yeah, for sure. Say what you want about it for constructed, but for limited, the London Mulligan is great. Ooh, that's a great card. Okay.
So we did hit on that. Would it be worth attacking here and trading Precise Strike? Is like that's something we're happy to do, or do we really just want to get Ether Chaser down?
I believe, yeah, I'm pretty happy trading Precise Strike here. Also, just like it's a free point if they don't block, and
they're not blocking. There's no way.
Yeah, they're not blocking.
And Chaser makes them spend their energy.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I wonder if yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I wonder if that's like a tell to like if someone does that to you, do you just act for the rest of the game as if they have a combat trick, or do you just expect that your opponents are good enough to bluff attack you there when they don't?
I think people block not enough. I'm sorry, bluff not enough, right? So I'm assuming most people are not bluffing. And so yes, if I were my opponent here, I would assume that you have a combat trick in hand. All right, this is a nice start from them. So we have some decisions to make here.
The level 0 play is attack with both, play Sweatworks Brawler.
Problem with that is that they can double block. Yeah, they can double block the Chaser and kill it, which is not the end of the world.
Yeah, getting their Death Toucher off the board, getting this into a 2/3.
I think we would like to have the Sweatworks Brawler on board this turn because of the
agree.
Precise Strike, right? So
yeah,
let's just bash here. Oh, alternatively, I think this is fine, but this line is fine. But I think thinking about it again, we could just attack the Chaser, leave back the Apprentice so it can double block or even triple block. But I think this is a fine line too.
That is also, yeah, that's definitely a good thing to keep in mind. Always consider options. Yeah, they probably weren't blocking anyway, so trading the points. I guess they can't attack with this. They're going to hit us for 5. I don't love double blocking when I don't have the Precise Strike up, considering that we're probably going to be having it up a lot. Like, blocking is really one of those things that, like, in certain matchups, you just really don't want to block.
Yeah, a lot of times if you're the whole joke is double blocking, that that's gonna go well for you, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Never does. So this looks like to me a the Furious Reprisal. Looks like they're going to we block the 1/2, they Furious Reprisal our Brawlers, and then kill our Ether Chaser. How bad is that for us?
Pretty
Not
bad.
horrendous, right? I mean, it's they're gonna get us eventually with that. So I think them coming at us with the Brawler and being able to do that for the next 2 turns with a 5 power creature, I think we might have to block here and then try to line up the Precision Strike next turn.
So if you think they have the 4 mana and deal 2 to 2 different things, and that's like clogging up their hand, then there's like some argument to just not blocking this turn, taking 7, and then using Sweatworks Brawler with the Precise Strike to deal with the We'll Take Brawler next turn.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's just a better line.
And then this thing holds back their other guys, because that's just my initial thought. Is that it's
yeah, you're right. I like that a little bit better.
Especially if they have another, like if that's their 4-drop, then they're gonna maybe have to play something less efficient this turn, and we can catch back up on board with maybe like Scrap Trawler or Gears Renegade.
Yeah, we really want to draw land here. Now they're thinking like, should I just use it?
Yeah, exactly. Now they're in like, oh, because we don't care about. We would only be blocking the Seed Sculptor, I think, and it's just 1 point of damage. Next turn, the Chaser like holds back both of these, so they might just kill both of these to shrink our Inventor's Apprentice. We really need to draw planes this turn, I'd say.
Magic would be okay too, so we can go Trawler or Strike, but planes would be ideal to ensure the 2-drop next turn.
Attune with Aether, keeping this thing powered up is pretty like bad for us.
Yeah.
Precise Strike doing much more work than Built to Smash would have. Ooh, Ruinous Gremlin.
So the fact that they thought that long, I'm pretty sure they have, and they're still trying to get us with the the whole kill 2 things.
Do we play Scrap Trawler into the Ruinous Gremlin? Probably, right? Like we have other artifacts.
Probably just have to. Yeah, I think we just kind of have to. Like, I don't think this Ruinous Gremlin's going anywhere anytime soon, basically.
Yeah, and they don't have anything to do with their mana anyway. We could attack for 1. Because this isn't useful on blocks.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just gonna... Yeah, we might as well. They're probably just gonna block and attack, but...
Yeah, but that at least forces them to use their Gremlin now.
Yep.
We could have attacked first if I had thought about it. Oh. Farewell, Scrap Trawler. You sacrificed yourself for the cause.
Yeah, hardly knew ya. So now they're gonna go 2 damage to. I guess they could kill any combination here except for the Sweatworks Brawler. They could kill our Apprentice or Chaser. Probably gonna kill our Chaser and our Servo, if I were to guess.
How confident are you that they have it?
They were thinking for a long time, and that attack with the Seed Sculptor indicates it, right?
Yeah.
So it could be something else, but with 2 of those cards in their deck, that's the thing that's really on my radar, you know?
Yeah, that's like the big, like, oh, this is, like, that's like a big level up moment when you're like, oh, we saw 2 copies of that card. What does this attack mean? Well, given what we know about their deck, it has to be like that type of card, or like maybe a combat trick, but way more likely to be that.
Mm-hmm.
And those are just the types of things that, like, separate players like you from players that just like draft once every couple weeks, because when you don't know all the cards in the set, you can't think about things like that. Or
yeah, exactly, right. The having the prerequisite knowledge certainly helps.
do you think we're favored to win this game at the moment? Like, if there was an advantage bar, would it be on our side or theirs?
I think it's probably on their side just slightly, because they've got us on the ropes here a little bit. Like, I think if this combat goes smoothly, yeah, there it is. If this combat goes smoothly, which it looks like it will be, I think it slightly shifts in our favor. But also kind of just depends on what we draw here, what both of us draw here. Okay, so this is going to be good for us, right?
Once we get the precise strike to go in our favor,
for sure,
it really swings back.
1. They likely have a spell in hand, so I'm worried about that. Like, if it's a big green monster, we're in some trouble. But we'll see how things go.
Do you like attacking here, trading 3 damage for 1 damage?
Yeah, I think so. I think we just have to here. We can't just sit back and do nothing.
We don't have any other ways to discard lands or anything, so it's worth playing. They're not going to be afraid of any bluffs or anything, I don't think. Okay, Gremlins probably have to hold back now to block that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yikes.
Yeah, kind of yikes. Okay. Oh, interesting that they didn't attack, too.
It's also pretty good for us if we have a Plains, because now we can play both of our cards and trigger the Countless Gears Renegade.
Yeah.
We go Plains, play Mechanic, bounce Plains, play Renegade. Pretty nice synergy piece there.
Well, we can't play in the same turn, though, right?
No, because we can bounce the... Oh, right, we can't play the same land.
Yeah,
right.
We had a...
Okay, so they probably have it again.
Yeah, it looks like it's the same thing here, which we just have to play into it, which is fine.
Yeah. It's not even that much value for them.
Could be a trick. Sure.
It is a trick. That's less good. Ah!
Oh, wow. Okay, we're dead to that thing. All right.
Unfortunate. We just didn't draw Plains.
Yeah, if we had a Plains there, I think we're in decent shape. But that Karizev definitely locks it up. Okay.
Okay, so now that we're back on the play, what changes do we want to make? We can bring in Build to Smash again.
Yes, I believe that is what I would like to do. And yeah.
Probably taking the Impeccable Timing out? Or consider it at
least. After seeing Karizev, maybe we just want to keep it, Like, I think that might just... What did we take out for that card in the first place?
Aeronaut.
Aeronaut, yeah.
Aeronaut also dies to their 4-mana deal too to 2 things.
Yeah. Let's just run it as is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We're not so overloaded on removal that we're gonna be like, oh, like we have 5 removal spells in our opening hand. Like, that sucks. I think we'll still be able to pull it out here.
I think this is gonna be a nice smooth hand. We won't have to okay, never mind. Okay, easy mulligan.
It's just so much sweeter when we win after mulling each game,
Exactly.
And this is a perfect hand.
We get rid of Mountain, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we have more white cards, especially because we have 2 in our hand. And then we can start with a Heart of Kirin. Start the Beatdown train.
The Furious Reprisals do kind of get us here. I will say they're pretty annoying against our deck, but
yeah,
we'll carry on here.
Just gotta do your best. Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, so we'll just play our Dewdrop here.
I hope they don't have a artifact removal. I guess they brought in the Gremlin to deal with Heart of Kirin, but they don't have it, or they would have played it.
Yeah.
Which is good, because it would not be ideal if they had an answer to the Heart of Kirin.
Okay,
Oh,
this is actually like a fine start for us. So now we just go Chief so that we can pump our Heart of Cure and get in for 5, and then we're kind of doing it. Like, I'm not too worried, honestly. They seem to be missing green.
And they can't block our Audacious Infiltrator.
Yeah, that's great. Especially if we draw another land, we can go like play the Renegade, crew the Heart with the Renegade and the Chief, and maybe even Thopter arrest something. Okay, hit their green source.
Okay. There goes our fun times. But being on the play is such a huge difference.
Yeah, this has been like such a boon for us being on the play.
Heart of Kieran, what a beating, and also Infiltrator clutching it. Definitely not.
We will not block.
We will not walk into your trap, opponent.
Good sir or madame. Like, yeah, we see what's up. We see what's up.
They feel like they have to kill it almost.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think they're just hoping we don't have another creature, basically, because they can't keep taking 4 here.
5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh sure. Okay, that's fine.
Wow, what a beatdown. That was absurd.
Yeah, it's a really good draw actually, because now we can
bounce our mountain.
That's really good. Yeah, that's a fantastic draw. We can do the thing that you
wanted to do last time.
Game. Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Wow, get dominated opponent. Just complete wreckage.
Dunked on, yeah.
Get dunked on, exactly. I didn't know that you had that phrase in Canada. I thought that was just an American phrase here.
Hey, we play basketball too.
Do you though?
Yeah, not as much.
You play
We'll get slammed, you hoser.
You got your Toronto team, which is they won the championship this last 2 years ago. They beat Golden State.
I think we're good here. I mean, there are 4.
We have a Thopter arrest. They are definitely not winning this game.
They're on the ropes here.
When you say on the ropes, you mean 100% to lose, right?
Yeah.
Look,
I don't like to count my chickens, but
there is no advantage bar here. Okay, actually, maybe there. I'm trying to think of like random scenarios. So if they had like 2 mana, if they'd had artifact removal, land, zap our 3/1 and our 1/1, they're not. They're still dead. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, so we play the Infiltrator, crew the Heart.
Oh yeah, look at that synergy. Oh, that's
sand.
That's what got us the win. The Spire Side Infiltrator.
Go.
Oh yes, got the win.
And just like think about how much worse all of these games would have been if we just like didn't have a 2-drop each of them. You know, like these Infiltrators have been so good, so good for us.
Just 100% win rate with Heart of Kieran in play.
Yeah.
Just think of how much worse these games would have gone if we didn't have a 2-mana 4/4.
Yeah.
But yeah, see you folks in the next round. Welcome back, everybody, to round 2. We won the die roll because that's what champions do, and we have we're on Magic the Mulliganing, I think.
I think this one is just on the verge of keeping. Like, it's not fantastic, but like we've got 2 quality 3s. I don't think we want them all this one on the play. I think maybe in the draw you consider it, but on the play I'm okay with it.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I'll keep on your hunch, but I feel like we don't use lands past 4 very well. So we essentially have every land in our deck is a dead draw now.
Yeah, but I mean, you could go for the mulligan here, but I think just having the 2 quality 3s is probably good enough here.
I think there's higher equity for me in the keep the 2 3s, draw 3 lands, lose the game, have someone to blame. I'm kidding.
Try to yeah, just
it's
the
actually,
blame equity.
It's way more higher equity to have it work out and be like, wow, I really learned something. These are the types I think I would have mulliganed that hand if I didn't have your expert guidance.
So I mean, like, if we draw any of our 2-drops, this hand becomes very good. If we draw a vehicle, this hand becomes like sure, land is a bad draw, but any spell is a very good draw, right?
Isn't that always the case when you have a lot of lands? Ooh, that was a good draw.
Hey, there we go.
I said that involuntarily. Oh, that was a good draw. Oh, hello, Kari.
Oh no.
Hello, Kari.
There's Ev again.
Right on time.
Right.
We make this a 3/3, right?
Yeah, to block the Ragavan.
Ragavan.
We fortunately cannot trade with Karizev. Karizev is just such a beating.
It deals 1 to us. No big deal. And we're about to hit him with the Crusher. Crusher. I like the sound effect the monkey makes. Ooh. Going wide, perhaps? Wow, this hand really worked out after we drew 2 spells in a row. Do we play the Crusher now so that we can double spell the following turn?
I think so. So, it's a bit annoying. Well, it's not even that bad. We take 3 here. They can't really attack. Oh no, so we take 1 here. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, just
This
the
is
Kari.
totally okay. Totally okay.
Crusher. I haven't played this card yet in the format. It seems pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's definitely back in Aether Revolt. I remember this card took a while to catch on to people. People to catch on how good it was, but it ended up being a pretty decent vehicle.
Should we crew it?
Yep, let's do it. I think we want to not take chip damage here.
I mean, we could block with the Artisan, is why I ask.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think.
Like we expose it to sorcery speed removal. It was what I was thinking.
Sure. Yeah, well, I mean, there's not much that gets us here, right? Like revoke privileges doesn't hit it. Okay.
Okay, cannot be blocked by that. Okay, here we go. Well, that could be. So that essentially costs 2 mana if we tap both of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we could go land, Weldfast Monitor, and Sweatworks Brawler. That seems pretty good.
Yes. Then we're gonna have a tapped monitor, which is fine.
And a tapped Crusher.
And tapped Crusher. Yeah.
But we get the Brawler out, which is nice. Overall, a pretty good turn.
So now they have 4 spells in hand because they missed the land drop here. Wondering if we should block. Okay, they have something.
They're attacking with their 2/2 and their 1/1, and they do not have Inspired Charge up.
Yeah, so I'm inclined just to. We're at a high life steal. Just go for the eat the obvious block of eat their 2 creatures here, and then they can cast whatever trick they'd like, basically.
Yeah, we could like go this. This is my thought.
Yeah, because then this forces them to do something.
We could also double block Kari Zev.
I think that's worse. I think because of the first strike, right? Because then any trick kills something and then has the Kari Zev survive. At least here we get to eat something, right?
Oh, the classic. They might have the Furious Reprisal card.
Oh, can you imagine? Get savaged by that card over and over and over again.
Just every opponent has it. Yeah, they have it. Gosh darn it, Furious Reprisal.
And they were smart too. They were smart. They
didn't play the land.
Yeah.
Clever opponent.
Okay, I mean, it's bad, but it's not horrendous here. Oh, that was a great draw.
What a rip.
What a rip. Okay, so now we do have
Is it worth
enough things.
Is it worth not playing the mechanic in order to like give a creature pseudo vigilance?
I don't think so at this point. I mean, like, we probably, if they attack,
because we want to be able to block this thing.
Yeah, we want to block the Infiltrator.
Pretend that we have some
value.
We probably don't want to crew.
So if we crew, yeah, no, I don't think so. We're on blocking duty, trying to
defense. Crusher can block Kari Zev now. Well, this is a pretty easy block.
Yeah, so they don't have a trick. They would attack, or they have a creature they really want to play.
I don't think they can have it. I guess they would be able to trade with our Chief of the Foundry. That's a little irritating.
Okay.
This is where we were on Spell Watch.
Okay, well, now we have some options here. Well, not many options. we can attack or we cannot attack. And I think we're just on taking our beats from this Infiltrator and being sad, basically, until we draw some more spells.
Yeah. The battle between the aggro decks, but we don't have the lands as much. We have too many lands. This was the risk of our opening hand. We've actually run pretty well on land draws. We've only drawn 2. Ooh.
Oof.
That's okay. Our guy's bigger.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, our vehicle is bigger.
Ours is a 7/7. Oh, and ooh, that's
not bad. I mean, it means that
it's a 4/3.
Make some trades. We can maybe it's not bad. It's not bad.
It still doesn't block the Infiltrator.
It does not.
Infiltrator.
All of our artifact creatures.
Styling on us. Huh. Tricky Infiltrator. I think we have to draw an answer to it this turn.
Yeah, otherwise we're just gonna be able to go attack all, attack all. Oof, and that's pretty bad for us too.
Mm-hmm.
And mountain. Okay, okay. Let's go to a game 2 here.
Scoop it up.
Scoop it up. All right, so same kind of things apply, right? Like aggressive matchup, aggressive mirror match. We are going to be on the draw play this time, so I think we want to still be aggressive here. Honestly, wondering about frontline rebel because we have a lot of 2 and 1 toughness creatures, and this might be good on the play.
Yeah, over a different 3-drop.
Yeah, over a different 3-drop here.
Like
Like
spike
maybe
side,
like a
like a scrap trawler or an
scrap
infiltrator.
trawler. Yeah, probably scrap trawler.
And they didn't look like they had anything that really punished that other than the untethered express.
Yeah, we don't really have many other things we can.
We could bring in like Filigree Familiar seems a little bit better in this matchup because they actually have 2/2s and stuff.
Yeah, they have 2/2.
But that's
I
probably
think
for the draw.
on the draw. Yeah, we want that. But
Yeah.
all right, let's try it.
I want Ballista Charger to just dominate an Audacious
Oh
Infiltrator.
yeah, Charger would be really good in that.
That would be useful. It would be ideal. A good situation. Hey, we don't have the mulligan.
Hey, yeah, first time.
What are the odds? Ether Chaser into Weld Fast is a good start. Or maybe Ether Chaser into Spire Side. Probably just into Weld Fast. Probably Spire Side's better actually.
No Karizev. Okay, no Karizev. Excellent.
Kadoke. We attack for sure.
Yep. And the question is, are we gonna block this infiltrator? And probably not. If they want to attack, they may. So I think that makes me want to play the monitor first, so that we can go next turn. Just play the infiltrator and the menace the monitor instead of the. I mean, we could play the aeronaut too, but the I think I'd rather just save that.
Yeah, for when we have a vehicle in play.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a servo, I'm sure.
Foiling our plans.
Our 2/1 holds him back pretty well. So we give menace attack with.
So now I think the plan's changed a little bit, right? Because we can't really do that. I mean, they can double block.
That's okay for us though,
monitor.
right?
It is okay. Is it okay? But I think
we want to hold back Ether Chaser to deal with.
Yeah, yeah. My thought is like we're not attacking with Chaser. I don't think so. Like getting in with the Weld Fast monitor doesn't do as much. So I'd rather just play the Admiral and see if we can peck in with that. Now it's a disaster if they have Furious Reprisal, but we're not playing around that this game anyways. Like it's just
that
not
card just
can...
dumpsters us. Oh yeah,
we just can't really do much about it.
Oh
no! Stop!
Gosh, when does it end?
Yeah. And like, there's some thought, of course, to like leaving it back or whatever. But like, or sorry, not just just waiting a bit. But I don't think we're supposed to do that.
Are we supposed to block here?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we can win this game if we block there.
Yeah.
Good draw.
So we can play both of these.
Yeah, I kind of want to get in for some points here. So I attack the monitor here, and probably just play. Well, so we attack with the monitor. Yeah, that's fine. Attack with the monitor and then play our brawler and our mechanic. I think is the line.
Okay.
Then the mechanic can block the infiltrator, and the brawler blocks everything else.
Play the mechanic first. Decline. Whew. Yikes. This card is so good against us. We've played against so many copies. It's been casted against us in every single game, I think.
I know.
Or just about. Our only win when we have Heart of Kirin game plan is still in effect. Oh, that's good.
Yikes. Well, we can still trade with the infiltrator if they choose to attack. They do not.
That's pretty good for us.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just take three on the chin here.
Hmm.
That's pretty bad for us.
It's not great. We have to give menace.
Yeah, I think menace attack with the 2 menace creatures.
Yep. Try to get them to trade off their Dawn Feather Eagle.
Take it. It smells like another Dawn Feather Eagle to me.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
I mean, we can still win this game if we draw like. I mean, if they have Eagle, it's really bad. But if they go for an attack, we have like Build Smash or something. Could be close.
Yeah, maybe we could draw big Built to Smash and have it win us the game. Built to win, more like.
Exactly.
I'm not liking our chances at the moment. It's kind of
Oh
worrisome.
no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we have to ask ourselves here: is there a world that we are winning this game if they have a combat trick?
No. No,
I don't
there's
think
not.
so. I think we say no blocks here.
Oh, just 0 blocks.
Yeah, I think our out here is just drawing something that helps our attack this turn, and they don't have something that can help.
My
Like
thought...
I don't think we're winning this game either. Like, or we could like chain a removal spell into other stuff, but I don't think we're winning this long game.
I think we could win. Like, they don't have any pressure unless they have another flyer.
Oh, you're thinking like rip a removal spell?
Like, we could draw it, just increase our number of outs to make this block, whereas if they have nothing, then we still have 2 menace creatures. My thought is, if we block here, then they don't even kill us next turn with the flyer because we'll be at 4. So we have 2 draw steps.
Yeah, but then it decreases the amount of. So like, say they play a creature here, right? Let's say 2 creatures, right? Build a Smash will win us the game, right, on the spot. And we have 2 of those, which means we have 15%. And I think giving them more draw steps. I mean, there's a lot of math going on here, basically, right? But I think our most likely chance to win the game here is just take this.
Okay.
Because then they're gonna pay more creatures afterwards too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're gonna draw into more creatures themselves. Like, we have more chances, but they have more chances as well. All right, that's not a good one for us.
Devastated.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that went about as poorly as it could have gone.
All right, and we got to land it. So say they like didn't have the creature there.
Say they didn't have literally 2 bodies and a removal spell. Let's just say they had 2 bodies.
Right. Let's assume they had a body, right? A creature, right? Then Build Smash wins for sure. And then if they have like this Fabricate creature, does Build Smash still win? We go Menace. They block the artifact Menace creature, and then yeah, we'd still win. So right. So I mean, I think that if we draw a removal spell for the Dawnfeather Eel, yeah, we can like make some trades, do some stuff like that. But then like I think we just put ourselves in such a worse position. We might as well just put ourselves in the spot where we have like a 1 in 15 chance or 1 in 28. Sorry. Yeah, 1 in 16 or 1 in 14 chance to win the game on the spot, basically.
Yeah, it makes sense as a line.
Instead of trying to play the combinations of cards, right? Yeah. Playing to one card that we have multiples of.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we unfortunately weren't able to win that round, but we'll see you folks in the final. Welcome to round 3. We've lost the die roll. I think this is a pretty easy keep, though.
Yeah, this is a nice one.
2-drop once again. The power of 2-drops. Oh my gosh. Well, once again, only way we win games is with turn 2 Heart of Kirin.
Easy mode. Easy mode.
Or even later Heart of Kirin. Heart of Kirin is unbeatable. Easy mode unlocked, as they say. They have built their own Heart of Kirin.
Yeah, they're also beaten down.
Okay, we just play the monitor.
Yeah, we're just racing here.
This is going pretty well, I'd say. Because our vehicle's slightly better than theirs. And by slightly, I mean significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Vigilance is big game on Heart of Kirin.
Yeah, because next turn we can like play 2. We can crew it, play 2 creatures, and still crew it on defense. Ooh. So they have a trick here? Wow. So they could have a trick, or they could have
unlicensed.
Unlicensed, or what's it called?
Welding Sparks.
Welding Sparks. So if it's unlicensed, we get gotten. If it's not, we can blow them out if they're not smart and they wait till the attack. So basically, yeah, what do we do here is the real question.
My thought was Weldfast Monitor with Menace, play Infiltrator.
I think that's the better line. Yeah, if they want to kill our Weldfast
Or we could just attack with Weldfast, play 2 creatures, and the next turn Dawnfeather Eagle.
Also, kind of cool. Dawnfeather Eagle can self-crew the Heart of Kirin too. I think we want to try to... Yeah, this is really close.
I think we're fine if these trade. It's not, it's not ideal, but I think getting both more creatures in play for our Dawnfeather is better.
Yeah, let's go for it. Especially because, no, you know what? I actually like this line. I like this line because it forces them to play something else instead of hold up a removal spell, right?
Yeah.
Because like if they're just doing this, they have to play another creature when we play 2 more creatures.
Yeah. And we're not going to build for Smash. That'd be madness. Okay, now we're going to play build to Smash, right?
Now we're going to build for the Smash, yeah. So that was their plan all along, eh?
Oh, that was their plan. They were going to use that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, they get equally... This is even better for us because we'd rather kill this than the Sky Skip, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because now the Sky Skip is back to a 2/3, and then we get to play our...
do the thing we planned to do
Infiltrator.
Okay, so this worked out for us.
That's why having the counter trick is so important, boys and girls.
Yep.
And they concede.
And just
They can't handle
straight
it.
scoop, yeah.
The rage scoop. Finally, our deck... When we have turn 2 Heart of Kieran, we can't lose. Okay.
So this is interesting because I kind of just want to keep it as is. I don't know how aggressive my opponent is. Like red-black can be aggressive, but it's a little bit more mid-rangey than white-red tends to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like I'm less inclined to make the change of build to smash out. So I think we'll just run it just as is for now.
Yeah. Impeccable Charge did line up well against the 2 cards we did see, but like it's still questionable.
Yeah, we saw like 3 cards from them, so.
Yeah. 3 cards is all we needed to see to know that we couldn't lose. Oh, another good hand is what you like to see.
And we're gonna rip Heart of Kieran here. Ah, nuts.
Gosh. You got greedy and we didn't draw Heart of Kieran. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to casting this card. I think we just start with the Ether Chaser, right?
Yep.
Make sure we can get the creature out. Are there any situations where you would not play a turn 2 Ether Chaser in these spots?
No, I think like you can you know there's that's the fear that they have something like that, but like just jam, right? The more you wait, the more it plays into their plan of wanting you to not play your good creature.
I don't think I've ever
When
been
it's
so
something
happy.
that will
Sorry, go ahead.
when it's like oh no, I was gonna say when it's something like a something that wins the game on the spot when you you cast it and it resolves like some bomb creature, you can hold it at that point, right? When it's like, okay, I want to make sure my opponent doesn't have any removal spells for this. I want to bait those removal spells out. But when it's something like a 2-drop creature that's great on turn 2 and fine otherwise, like it loses a lot of value later, just play it on turn 2, right?
Yeah, I've never been so happy to see a Chandra's Pyre Helix get used.
Yeah, yeah,
was
against
like,
our hand.
Yeah, it just killed
Big
it.
yikes.
I don't know which one we play, because these two work better if we draw a land for the Eagle, but this one works better if we don't draw a land.
I think we want to probably play the Aeronaut, I think. It's close. Yeah, it is pretty close, but let's just play the Aeronaut.
This thing getting flying, so they can't deal with that. Doing all right. In a little bit, I can. Maybe 20 minutes. Ooh, Self-Assembler. What do you think of that card?
I think it's fine. I think it's a decent little pocket of synergy you can have in your deck, but I don't often prioritize it. Like,
yeah.
In your like value blue-green decks, there's better value engines, and in your red-black decks, like, you know, there's often also better things to be doing, so it's fine.
Just get to play all of our cards.
Yeah, it's just going fantastic for us. If their next turn is, play a Self-Assembler, I think we're in very good shape here.
I think we just straight up win, maybe. Play Dawn Feather Eagle, attack them. Obviously, we'd have to draw Dawn Feather for that to work out, but... It's crazy, because this game is really just coming down to, like, one combat step either way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, all of our matches have been a lot of the time, right? It's just like these have been really racing matches.
That's probably why you enjoy playing this sort of deck a lot of the time, because they're just like knife's edge.
Yeah, I do enjoy this kind of magic, I will admit.
There's no 1-drop in our deck, unfortunately, so I know that's a bit,
I know, shame.
A bit sad, but
right,
unfortunately, Kaladesh was before the white 1-drop fad.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we still have a really good attack here. Yep.
Just hold back the aviary mechanic.
So
or
if we
play
attack with
and
the
they block there,
aviary
they're gonna
mechanic,
block there.
They block. Yeah, I mean, it's not really doing much on blocks. I mean, can double block the Sweatworks Brawler? So I think, are we okay with the trade of Mechanic on Brawler, Built to Smash Mechanic trade, then take...
Oh, it wouldn't even be a trade if we would keep our Mechanic.
Oh, sorry, eat. Yeah, my bad.
That's probably best.
Sorry, I'm an Admiral trade, so I think we're okay with that.
Yeah.
So I would just bash here. It keeps most of our creatures alive while trading off their creatures. So that's the main thing we want here.
Yep. I was thinking we could keep our Admiral alive.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
A little bit of trickery from them. They had the counter trick, but it couldn't do much.
Okay.
I'm glad that... Oh, no, we would have still won that combat if we'd done that. Yeah.
So I think they're probably... Unless they have a removal spell, they're pretty priced into just saying no attacks, play Self-Assembler, or whatever card they have in hand.
Yeah, and then we draw Dawn Feather Eagle.
Yeah, draw that land, and then we win. That's the plan.
Yeah. I mean, have we ever not drawn the exact card we needed?
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
We got all worked up here for nothing. So we don't just win, but it was a timely draw.
We'll keep this on top.
We'll keep that, yeah. Just see what happens. What happens if we actually do attack with all? They block.
They block this on our 3/2. This on our 2/2 on here.
Oh, we did. No, we do. Do we win? Hold on.
No, they go to 1. If they kill 2 of our creatures, they go there, there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Yep.
I think that's probably worth it, right?
Yep. I like forcing a jump when we can.
Or trade on if they're flyer.
Sorry, trade. Yeah, forcing a trade when we can.
It's a pretty good trade for us, I think. 2/2 flyer.
Oh.
Oh, that was backbreaking. And we just scribe the land to the top.
So medium in this format. Right, it's okay. So now we just we can put them to 1. This is really interesting. So we can put them to 1 here. I think we're supposed to do that.
Why?
So we have, because then they can never attack, right? Because that's the whole thing here. I mean, I'm assuming they don't have another self-assembler. They might, but if we don't attack here, they can start chipping in with their 5/6. Whereas if we put them to 1, they can never attack unless they have adequate blockers. And then if we draw more creatures, they can't start racing back, right?
Okay, so we're willing to trade off a Cobra for that.
Yeah, we're willing to trade off the Cobra for the ability for them not to race us back.
We don't have any direct damage, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's okay. Now, this is worse if they have another self-assembler in their deck, of course, but it's still fine, right? They still can't make this attack this turn, which again means making more turns to draw more creatures from us. Okay, that's good.
Ooh.
There we go. So I mean, that's not quite lethal, but that's a good trick to have up our sleeve here.
Good step in the right direction.
Yeah, they might make like kind of an ambitious attack at some point. You know,
they probably will have
draw
to.
A creature here. Yep, like that. And unless they have a very specific creature here, I think we're good.
Oh, and that's so good for us.
Oh, that's okay. So if they make an incorrect block, maybe. Okay, so let's see. We attack with everything. Do not think we have lethal here, right? Unless they block wrong, and they could block wrong. Do we bank on them blocking wrong here?
I mean, how else are we winning this game?
We wait for one more attack step. They attack us for... Yeah, no, we have to just attack here. Yeah, nope. You are correct.
I think we are going to be in trouble.
I think so too, but you never know.
Why would you risk a double block, opponent? No.
No. Opponent, but you get so blown out, opponent. What are you doing?
Opponent, why? Inventor's Goggles, clutch as heck.
Yeah. All right, so that was a good
we don't have any
cards from them.
We don't have any direct damage.
Nope. And we're just on the crackback here.
The pain.
No, but you know, I think that was still a right play though, right?
Putting them to 1. Ugh. Do we have any?
Yeah, that was an unfortunate sequence of events. Okay, so now.
Gosh, that mind rot. I'm traumatized.
They're a little bit. Yeah, I know. They're a little bit bigger. I think we're still fine with this configuration. I don't think we want to change anything. especially in the play.
Okie doke. Let's go, deck.
Let's try that Heart of Kieran.
If we had actually saved our 3/1 flyer, we would have won.
Oh, if we, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Because that was why I didn't. That was the consideration on the other side of attacking with the Aviary mechanic, was that a 3/1 flyer that we could save was better. But they have Sky Skiff in their deck, so it wasn't like a locked up win or anything.
Right.
It just happened to would have lined up better against their cards.
One more game.
Okie doke, it all comes down to this. Heart of Kieran? No Heart of Kieran.
No heart, but this is an okay hand.
Yeah, we've still only won when we had Heart of Kieran. I'll have you know.
I know.
Heart of Victory, as they call it.
That's also not a bad draw here. Like, we can go kill their 2-drop. Oh, Fatal Push? Wow, opponent, come on.
Opponent just dumpstering.
Alright, we got Scrap Trawler. That's not bad.
They don't have Chandra's Pyrohelix, or they're saving it. Don't you dare mind drop me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so get removal spell and land here. I don't think we can afford anything else.
Yeah. Gosh, the pain.
We do the land here, though, so that's good news.
I am so hateful of mind rot. It's unbelievable. Gosh. Oh my gosh, the greed. Give us a land. Let's go.
That's insane that they would play that here. That's so good for us. Yeah, that's
they're just dead.
Holy
Please
crap. Yeah, that's
say
very
they're dead.
good for us.
Oh my gosh.
They're also just gonna have to discard. They're gonna die to their own Midnight Oil in like a turn potentially.
Oh, and this cantrips. They might not even want to.
Yeah, and they probably can't even search. Oh, woof. All right, so we just get in with our evasive creatures, and basically, I mean, you know,
they've got to be dead here, right?
They have to draw something here. They're going to get around 3 cards in hand.
Yeah.
How are they?
How do they not die?
How do they? So they play a land. They play like
you know what they could
2
do.
drops, and they still lose a life here.
You know what they could do? They could go land, Furious Reprisal, Chandra's Pyrohelix to kill our 2/3/3.
Still not enough. All right. Well, we got there.
Yes!
We got there from opponent not playing cards that were relevant.
They played Fatal Push, and then it was like, oh no, and then they mind rotted us. I was like, oh dear, and then Midnight Oil. Midnight Oil is not even that bad.
No, that card's very good. I mean, that card's great, but not in this.
Want to hear a fun story about Midnight Oil? I literally got one last pick one time in a Kaladesh draft that I did in paper because everyone thought the card was garbage, and I was like, wait, this card's pretty good. But I was like, it was like an F&M draft, and so I was like a little bit, every time I played it, I felt a little bit dicey because I was like, everyone passed this card. It came around last pick.
Does everybody know something I don't?
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody even rare drafted it. It was just like such a funny one because I think I crushed everyone in that draft too. Like I had like a great black-red deck that used it really well, and then I was like, getting it last pick, maybe not the best. But yeah, we got...
It looks really strange. It's a very odd card.
I was like, this is like a Phyrexian Arena, isn't it? Just like, what?
It is.
It's real good.
All right, well,
yeah, thanks
that
so much for coming on as a guest. Any lessons that you took away from this, or any messages you want to send out to viewers before we end the video?
I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that I would want to say about this deck, we covered a lot in the draft and the gameplay portion. I think this is very, we got the opportunity to be very educational at the same time as hopefully entertaining. So that was great.
We managed to win without Heart of Kieran in one game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and
all
we
you
won one
need.
game without Heart of Kieran. I would just say that if you're trying to do well in Kaladesh Remastered, either draft one of these sweet aggro decks or some really dirtily energy deck with these convoluted engines. Don't be somewhere in between. Is always my advice for most formats, but I think this one more than most.
Yeah, and where can people find you if they want to find more of your content?
Yeah, so like you said earlier, I write for Channel Fireball. I'm on the pro side, so that is the subscribe side. Not just open to everybody, but it's really cheap actually for CFP Pro. It's only $5 a month, and there's like a buyback, so you can get store credit. If you other places, there is Twitter. I'm cord_o_calls there, on Twitch as well, and I also have, like you said, a podcast. Limited level ups. It's kind of I think at this point is known as the kind of sister podcast to Lords Unlimited, because we share a lot of our intel and our takes, and yeah, it's a good time. So come check us out.
Yeah, definitely excellent content. I recommend all of it. There will be links to all of that in the description and pinned comment down below. If you did make it all the way to this end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave #winningwithheart, because we showed a lot of heart in our victories, and Heart of Kieran was a key component. Remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with any questions or feedback, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you next time.